Hello again, rabid internet fan base. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So today we're going to talk about this property that we have in Sandoval County. This is in Rio Rancho Estates. This is, as we say here in the listing, the quote-unquote rare 2-acre lot. We've had this one listed now for about 2-3 weeks, and I'm actually kind of surprised. Typically when we list property in Rio Rancho, it gets scooped up pretty quickly. And of course, anything over 1 acre, any discerning buyer knows is even more exceptional and harder to find. So those typically sell within a day or a weekend. So at this point, I'm kind of surprised it's still listed, so I figured I'd make a video. So instead of doing my usual thing, I want to talk about two aspects of the property. We say that it's the rare 2-acre lot. What makes it rare? And we say that it's close to development. You know, how close is close? So let's cover the first point. I write a little bit about this down here in the write-up, though the strong impression I get from talking to a lot of people who call me is that most people are not actually reading things that are written on the website. So hence the video. Anyway, if you scroll down to the gallery, we've got a Rio Rancho street map down here. This came from the assessor's office. So not exactly a plat map, it's a street map, though I would challenge anyone to actually be able to read the streets that aren't highlighted in red. But anyway. Point being, what you're seeing on this map here, this is the entirety of the Rio Rancho Estates subdivision. And basically what happened was back in the 60s, there was a developer who came in and bought up all of this land and then figured that the best way to make money on it was to chop it all up and subdivide it into the biggest number of parcels, the smallest acreage and biggest number of parcels that they can possibly figure out. So basically, this entire subdivision here was broken down into 1-acre parcels. There's maybe, let's say, 10% of them are half-acre parcels, something like that. But the point is, you're not going to find anything out here that's 10 acres, 5 acres, 7 acres, whatever. If you do, you're typically finding, for instance, 5 acres. You're typically finding, 5 adjacent 1-acre properties. And actually, if you kind of bring this up on a map, on Google Maps, and you just kind of scrutinize how this subdivision is all platted out here. And for the record, when you see these lines on Google Maps, these things are not, they're not accidental, they're not arbitrary, they're an indication of the plats, of how this area is pinned out. So when you see these things, you can see that, everything is basically this cookie cutter, rectangular 1-acre property out here. And occasionally you find things where they couldn't quite fit, where they couldn't quite make it work as a 1-acre, as a cul-de-sac or whatever. So it's a little bit bigger. It's maybe 1.3 acres or 1.5 or whatever. But for the most part, the vast majority of this whole area, let me go back here. The vast majority of this whole area is 1-acre land. So point being that these 2-acre properties, and again, these are 2 adjacent 1-acre parcels, they're I'm really keen about them because essentially you're buying 100% more land than anybody else in the subdivision is going to have, or that the rare exception within the subdivision is going to have. So that's a big deal. That's number one. And by the way, so the second point here is about development. How close is close? As you can see, the little star here on the map indicates approximately where the property is. It's not scientific. We'll get to that in a second. But the blue parts are basically the developed portions of Rio Rancho. Now, I couldn't tell you why 1/2 of the map is white and 1/2 is blue. I suspect it has something to do with city utilities, though I can't imagine there's city utilities up here. I suspect it might have something to do with paved roads, though, again, up here, I don't know. But the point being is that it's pretty close to the blue part. I guess that's my point. So let me just go back here to this, and let's scrutinize this a little bit more. So, by the way, these are lots 27 and 28, and that's why there's 2 parcel numbers, 2 account numbers, and 2 different latitude, longitude things. So we'll click on one of these and bring this up on a map. And close this while we're doing that. Okay, so this is one of the 2-acre parcels. I think the other one is this one. Where is this at? If we scroll, zoom back, we can get a sense of, exactly how far it is from the 25 or from the 528. And if you ever want to get a sense of distance on any one of these maps, it's really easy to do. Just sort of right-click on the pin, click measure distance, and then, boom, how far am I from this? Approximately 8 miles as the crow flies. Okay, maybe you have to snake your way through the streets a little bit, so maybe it takes about 10-15 minutes to get there, but not bad. Anyway, clear measurement. Okay, so let's look at this property specifically. As you can see, you've got some structures out here where obviously people have gotten power, and if you kind of scrutinize these lots, you can see, well, that's a power line, and these look to be power lines. This guy looks like he has some kind of power line here, but obviously the city utilities aren't, really all over out in this area. The report from the photographer who went out to the property is that basically along Northern Boulevard is where these things really stop. So obviously these homes in this little area here all have power. So let's measure distance out to there. Let's see how far power is from the property. Boom. Roughly about half a mile. Half a mile to there, though less to here, less to here, less to here. So point being, they're slowly starting to outfit this area with power lines, things like that. And it should not be difficult to get that out to the subject property should you want to build out here. Should you be buying this to actually build on, it shouldn't be difficult to get that out there. Number one. Number two, when you start to look at Rio Rancho here, obviously the really developed portion is closer to the highway, easy access points to the highway. And then, it's still pretty dense over here by Unsard Boulevard, but it kind of thins off a little bit as you get into this area. By the way, let me go back down to this map. This area right here is around Unit 7, Unit 8. This is where it kind of thins out at. So this is in Unit 6. It's not far from this solar array that they have out here. But as you can see, development is slowly starting to encroach upon this area. So this is another reason why I'm really big on these 2-acre lots out here, or like these Unit 6, Unit 7 lots, is that you're buying something right now which on paper doesn't have a lot of value because it's not as developed as these other sections here. Though, in 5 years' time, it probably will be. And hence, property values will go up. It'll make the eventual sale price of the property worth a lot more, etc. So if you're here, if you're on Hemingway land and you're just looking to flip properties, I mean, first of all, you could pretty much buy any one of these at the purchase price listed and resell it for a profit. But if you're looking to really, buy and hold and resell it a few years from now, I would speculate that the value of the land would go up dramatically in that time, just based on how much development is encroaching out on this area. Now, by the way, if you want to get a sense of how close you are to certain things, obviously you can see some parks down here. I know Cottonwood Mall is really close. Here's Rio Rancho High School, for instance. So let's say you're going to live out here. You've got kids. They're going to go to school. How far is the school? Measure distance. Boom. 6 miles. 6 miles as the crow flies. So not bad. And there's probably a few schools in between that I'm just not seeing on this map, etc. So have fun with that. Feel free to do that. But the point is that when we say that it's close to development, this is what we mean. This is development. This is a pretty developed area of Rio Rancho, and it just keeps getting closer and closer out to Unit 6 every year. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about comps. Let's talk about how this thing is priced. As always, I got Landed Farm queued up here. If you just sort properties by the lowest, and we don't separate the acreage out, what you'll start to see is you've got half-acre properties for $900. Half-acre, I mean, that's the low end. There's $1,000 for half-acre property, $1,000, $1,300 for a half-acre property, $1,500 for a half-acre property. I know that because I've looked at this before I did the video. I know that this 2-acre lot comes in around page 6. Of listing. So here it is. So we've got the 2 acres for $3,250. As you can see, there's still people listing listing half-acre lots for $3,200. And I bet if you clicked on this, first of all, there's no legal description, so we have no idea where the thing is. It's just, oh, it's here on the map. But where is that exactly? Not a developed portion. Not a developed portion at all. And then, and people wonder why realtors can't sell undeveloped land. I mean, this is one of the reasons. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's being priced higher than... Anyway, I won't get into it. But the point is, hey, look, there's us. Super cheap. So $3,250 for a 2-acre lot. Let's start to kind of break this down by acreage. Let's say minimum acres, 2 acres. What are the other 2-acre lots in this area going for? We'll sort by price. Lowest first. Any day now. All right. So the next lowest 2-acre property out here is $4,400. So once again, we're the lowest. Incredible savings. If you are inclined to purchase this property, let me go back to the listing page here. Obviously, you come up here, you click the Buy Now button, and you're going to be prompted to enter any day now to enter different information, legal name for the deed, tax address for the property, etc. And then on the next page, once you click this and then click this, you're going to get ability to enter credit card information, secure checkout, credit or debit card, etc. If you want to learn anything about how the buying process works, about exactly how we deed the property into your name, I would highly encourage you to go to the How It Works Buying From Us page. And this property listed at $3,250. We recommend a notary close on this. So what this means is that we're going to write the new deed and we're going to get the new deed recorded for you as opposed to going through a title company. If you feel squirrely about that, if you feel squirrely about buying land from somebody online and you want to do this more officially, we can accommodate any comfort level or any financial instrument with which you want to close. So if you want to close through a title company, or if you don't own a credit card and you want to just send us money through a Walmart checkout thing, which are surprisingly easy, by the way, we can accommodate all that. We're very flexible. But anyway, read this page and you'll get a better sense of how the buying process works and exactly how the property gets deeded into your name. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Much appreciated. If you want to see more of these amazing videos of me talking, I'm trying to find the listing page. Where is it? Anyway, if you want to see more of these amazing videos of me talking, please click the little bell down here below the YouTube video and follow us on YouTube or on the Twitter. Are we on Pinterest? I don't know. Maybe eventually. Look for us there, I guess. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys.